Hello everyone, this is Surit Ghosh. Welcome to Part-2 once again. Today I am going to do some program using C programming language, and this is my first program in using my computer. And so let's start. First, in this program I am going to describe how to take an input from the user and how to print the output in the output window. So let's start with the program. So basically, printf statement function basically used to print the any output in the output window, and scanf function is basically used to take the input from the user. In case of C programming, we have to first include some header file, and the header file is a type of file which is already defined in the C compiler. When I am going to discuss about the library functions in C programming language, and this time I am going to discuss about the all types of header files available in the C programming language. But now I am just starting with the hash sign, as the every header file is always be included in the program by the hash sign. So we just write hash sign first, and then after I am going to write the include, 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 and then after angular bracket, and within the angular bracket I'm just writing the header file name stdio.h. The full form of stdio is standard input output, and then after I'm just writing void main opening brackets. Then after we are just writing the opening braces and closing braces. Within the opening and closing braces, if I'm just like to print some word or sentence, to print any kind of thing, we use the function printf. So printf, and then after first bracket open close, and within the first bracket open close, the word or sentence must be given within the double inverted comma. So I'm just putting the double inverted comma, and in this double inverted comma, whatever you like to print, you just write down here. Suppose I am writing welcome to Part-2, and as the every C statement is ended by the semicolon, so I'm just putting here and a semicolon. Then after I'm going to compile the program and compile it first, and in these sections you can see there is no error shown, errors 0 and warning 0. So program is compiled successfully, and then after I'm going to run this program, and you can see the output is welcome to Part-2. So in this way actually we are actually print any kind of thing in the C programming. Now if I'm just taking an input from the user to store some values, as we know that to store some values we must to declare a variable, and for declaring a variable, syntax is first we have to write the data type. Suppose the data type is int, and then giving space, and then the write down the variable name. In the previous video I have already mentioned the rules and regulations or conventions by which we are actually give the variable name. So if you don't know how to name a give a proper name of a variable, you can see in my previous video what are the rules are there for declaring a variable. So I'm just give a name, suppose A, and then after giving semicolon, as the every statement in the C programming is ended by the semicolon, and then after I'm just writing here that suppose enter the value, to taking an input from the user. We always use the scanf function. So I am writing a scanf, scanf, and then after first bracket open close, and within the first bracket open close, within the double inverted comma, we have to mention the format specifier, and the all types of format specifier also explained in my previous video about the C programming language, you can find. And for integer type of data type, the format specifier is %d. So I'm just writing %d here, and then after ending the double inverted comma, just give a comma sign, and then followed give the ampersand sign, and then write down the variable name. So variable is here a. Okay, so variable is a. So in this program, if anyone is enter any kind of value of integer type, it is going to store in the variable a. Now to know that the variable a is really consist of the value which is actually entered by us, so I'm just going to print this variable again by using the printf function. So printf, and in case of printing any kind of variable in the output window, you also mention the format specifier again within the double inverted comma. So again %d, and then after giving the comma, and then after we are just mentioning only the variable name. In the case of printf statement, we not mentioning the ampersand sign. Okay, so I'm just write a and semicolon, and then after I'm just compile it, and no error found, and then I run the program. Now you can see in the output window that the output window shows that enter the value, and suppose I'm just enter the 50 and then just press enter, then again the 50 is printed by using this statement. So in this way, in C programming language, we can take input from the user by scanf functions, and for printing any kind of sentence or word, we just use printf in this format, and for printing any kind of variable in the output window, we use printf's function in this format. Now I am going to do some program. Now the program list is given here. The first program is write a program in C language to add two numbers. Okay, so let's start. As in this program, we are just going to add two numbers. So to taking two values from the user, we have to mention two different variables name, two different variable name. One is a, another one is suppose b, and after taking the input, when we are just adding these two values, it returns a value again, and to store this sum value, we just declare another variable, suppose c. So I'm just changes the enter the first value, scanf, and again I am writing printf, enter the second value. Then after I am writing scanf, format, giving the format specifier name %d, and the variable name followed by the ampersand sign, and variable name is a b. So the first value, you can see the enter the first value, which is at the time of taking, it is going to store in the variable a here, and in the second value it is going to store in the variable b. So now after taking the input, I am going to just add these two values, a plus b, and then after I am going to print this value, suppose it is c. Now I am just compiling it, there is no syntax error found, and then after I am just run this program, and you can see the enter the first value. So I am just give the value 60, and then after I am giving the value of 50. Now the total value becomes 110. You can find here the 110 value. Okay, now in case suppose 110 value is obtained, but when the output window appear, how we just recognize it that it is the value of summations, not the value of multiplications or divisions or subtraction, any kind of thing. So to clear the idea about this, we have to just mention that sum equals to like this. You can use any kind of sentence or word within this double inverted comma where actually format specifier are actually mentioned in the printf statement function. So but always be within the double inverted comma. Now I'm just going to run this program again, and again I'm just inputting the value, suppose 80, and now it is 90, and you can see the value is 170 is still remain, but it is not shown the value like this format sum equals to. Why? Because I'm not compile this program, so I have to just compile it first, and then after I'm going to run this program, and you can see that 80 and 90, and now you can see that sum equals to 170. Okay, so in this way we can add two values or any kind of arithmetic operations we can do by using this thing. So this is in this way actually we are taking the input from the user and give the output in the output window by the printf statement. Now I'm just going to do the next program, and the next program is write a program to input two unequal numbers and display the number after swapping their values in the variables without using third variable. Here is the sample input is a equals to 27 as b equals to 59. Suppose we are just giving input the value from the users, and the value of suppose variable a is 27 and the variable b value is 59 is inputted by the user. After doing the program, the value is interchanged between them and a become 59 and b equals to 27. But in this case we cannot use the third variable, so only we can declare two variables a and b. Now first I am going to do the swapping between the two variables using the third variable. Okay, so I am just going to declare int a comma b comma c. Then after I am writing printf, enter the first value, scanf, so in this case you can see I'm just taking the two input and the input are being taken in the variable a and b respectively. In the program it is already mentioned that we are going to just swap the value without using the third variable, but in this case I am declared the third variable. First I am just going to describe you how to change the value between the two variable using the third variable. Then after I am going to tell you how to swap the value between the two variables. So after taking the input, I am just storing the value of c equals to a. So suppose value of a is 10 and value of b is 20, so a is copied to c. Now a equals to b. So now if the value of b is 20, so b is stored to a. Now the value of a is 20 and b is 20 right now, and then after I am writing b equals to c. As the value of c is 10 in this line, it is assigned by a, so c is 10, so b becomes 10. So now I'm going to print these two values. Now I'm just going to save it by giving name swapping. Now I'm just compile it, no error found, and then I'm just run it. So it 50 and another one is 60. Now the value you can see, first value becomes 60 and the second value becomes 50. That means in the first line 50 is being stored to variable A and 60 is stored to variable B, and after doing this swapping operation using the third variable, the value of A becomes 60 and value of B becomes 50. Now I am going to do the same thing but without using the third variable. Now in this portion I am just omitting this. Now A equals to A plus B. Suppose value of A is suppose 10, so I'm just writing here, suppose you are just assuming that value of A equals to 10 and suppose value of B equals to 20. It is these things are known as the command line, and command line are not going to execute at the run time or compile time. So it is, you can use command line argument in this section. So suppose a value of A is 10 and value of B is 20. Now A equals to A plus B, that means 10 plus 20, which is going to store again the variable A. So the value of A becomes in this line is 30. Now in this portion I am just going to write B equals to A minus B. Now you can see that new value of A is 30 and value of B is remain unchanged, that is 20. So A minus B, that means 30 minus 20, it becomes B equals to 10. So the value of A, which is actually 10, is being stored to variable B, and it becomes 10. And now A equals to A minus B again, and the value of A is 30 in this line you can see. Okay, and so 30 minus B, now the latest value of B is becomes 10 here. So the value of A is A equals to 30 minus 10, that is 20. So A equals to 20. So the first value entered by the user is A is 10 and B is 20, but after doing this operation A becomes 20, that is the value of B is stored to variable A, and the B becomes 10, that is the value of variable A is going to store into the variable B. Now I'm just going to compile it and then run it, and I'm just taking some input, suppose 45 and 54. You can see the value is swapped, that is 54 comes in the variable A and 45 comes into the variable B. In this way swapping actually done by without using the third variable. Now I come to the third program is write a program in C language to input the time in seconds and display the time after converting into hours, minutes and seconds. Okay, so here sample input is given here. Suppose 3672 seconds are inputted by the user, then after doing some operation it becomes 1 hour, 1 minute and 12 seconds. So let's start. So to taking the input from the user, I'm just time for taking the total time, and hour for this, minute for this, seconds and hour. Now printf, enter the time in seconds. Scanf %d %t. So I'm just taking the input, the seconds in the variable t. Okay, so suppose t equals to, suppose here as per sample input it is t equals to you can see that that is 3672. Suppose as per sample unit 3672. Okay, now I'm just going to divide it by some value. As we already know that the 1 hour is equals to 3600 seconds. So converting any seconds to into its equivalent hour, we have to divide the seconds value by the 3600. So to get the hour, which I'm just going to divide the value t by 3600, and after dividing this value the hour is stored into the variable h, and then after I'm just going to get the remainder of this value, and the remainder value is in the second format. So t modulo 3600. In this case, when any kind of programming, we are just use this modulo operator for using for any kind of purpose. We are just using the modulo operator. You have to carefully tackle it, because you have to mind one thing in your mind, that the data type of the variable always be in the integer format. Otherwise modulo operator never be work. If it is I'm just going to declare the r variable in the floating point or double value or long double value, it is never return the proper value in the by using the modulo operator, because it by using the modulo operator we get the remainder portions. But if I just declare the variable as a fractional type of data type, so it cannot return any kind of remainder value. So always to use the and get the result, for proper result for the remainder value by using the modulo operator, modulo division operator, we always be use the variable data type as integer. So now the r store the remainder remaining seconds after converting the into the hour, and the remaining seconds contain the value of minutes and also the seconds. So now, as I know and you also know that the 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. So the total seconds, that is r, is going to if I'm just going to divide it by 60, then it returns the value of minute. So m equals to r divided by 60. So in this case it returns the value of minute, and the remainder in the remainder portion any kind of value is remain. Obviously it is in the second unit is seconds, and this so s equals to r modulo 60. Now in this variable you can see s equals to r modulo 60. The remaining seconds are stored. Now as I'm just taking the t as 3672 as per the sample unit shown in this format. You can see that's 3672. So I'm just going to do the operation. So h equals to 3672 by 3600. So as the h is integer value, so integer data type, so h always store the non-fractional value, so h becomes only 1, not 1 point something. Now t, now in this case r equals to if I'm just going to divide 3672 by 3600, so r becomes 72. Now in this case the minute becomes 72 is going to divide by 60, then it becomes 1, and in this case if I am just going to modulo this 72 by 60, then S becomes 12. Now you can see the 3672, if it is inputted by the user, then the desired output must be 1 hour 1 minute and 12 seconds, and you can get that is 1 hour 1 minute and 12 seconds. Now I am just going to print this thing. Hour minute and seconds. Now respectively I'm just writing the variable name. Hour is stored in the variable age, and then after minute is stored in the variable m, and second is stored into the variable of s, and then after I'm just end it by semicolon, and then after I'm just compile this program. There is no error is found, and then I'm just going to run this program. So I'm just inputting the same value 3672. So 3672. So you can see hour equals to 1 minute, 1 minutes equals to 1, second equals to 12. Okay. Now I'm just going to input another value. So I'm just going to run this again. Suppose I am just writing 4275 seconds, and it becomes 1 hour 11 minutes and 15 seconds. So in this way the seconds is being converted into the corresponding hour, minute and seconds. So in this video I am discuss about the 3 programming, and how to take input from the user and how to print any kind of thing in the output window. In the next video I am going to discuss with different programming. Till then, keep watching the rest of the other videos of this channel. Bye bye and have a good day.